Alexa TV presents in 3, 2, 1. Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
All this week on Dateline Schools, I had the privilege of talking to one of the keynote speakers at the 7th Annual 21st Century Learning Symposium hosted at Murraysville High School that was attended by more than 700 local educators. And today, my special guest is Remi Holden. He's the co-founder of the University of Michigan's Institute for Innovation in Education and was one of the keynote speakers. And Remi, one of the things that kind of jumps out with what you're teaching us this at the symposium is that the classroom is not really the center of all learning, and I think that's probably the way education has been for centuries, really.
And you're right, it's been that way for centuries. The classroom is a technology. Let's not forget that. It's a design space. And whenever we design a learning environment, it has things it does very well. It has its affordances, and it may also have its limitations. We in America have this incredibly rich educational history. We also have a history of schooling, and our schools were designed many years ago in New England, Boston in particular, in the 1850s as egg crate schools. The egg crate school was an architectural design feature that was seen at the time to be innovative. It was the technology of the day, and yet that's a very persistent technology. How long will an iPad be around for? A few years? How long will even corporations that make technologies be around for? A few decades? The school as an egg crate, the designed features of a school have been around for centuries now. So the question is, if the school's a technology, so is the classroom a technology. So is the way that we set up desks and chairs, the designed environment of technology. And as people begin to question that, they begin to critique those ideas, we can begin to ask ourselves, maybe this classroom as container is not as fixed as we once thought it was. Maybe it's not as stable as we need it to be or that we think it is. Maybe it needs to be more flexible. And now our pedagogies, as well as our environment design, is beginning to adapt. We're beginning to see learning that moves beyond the classroom as container, recognizing that, again, classroom teaching and learning is very important. It does some things well, but it's no longer the center of our ecology. We see learning happening outside of schools. We see it happening in online settings. This classroom as container, as it begins to be unsettled a little bit, is but one setting in a more robust learning ecology.
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.